Hello! Welcome to my channel. My name is Kaylee and I'm a professional makeup artist, esthetician, and all-around beauty hack lover. I am so happy to have you here today because I get to share with you my favorite, top, most used, really happy to have in my kit makeup products for 2021. Now, I did a previous video already, I'll have it linked down below, and it was for the products that I used in my personal kit on myself for a day-to-day basis. And what I use on myself and what I use in my kit for brides, for long wear, for shoots, for commercial, are oftentimes very different. So that's why I split this up into two separate videos. All right, so let's start first with skin prep. I absolutely love these two moisturizers. This is like cult favorite, makeup artist, everywhere. It's the Embryolisse moisturizer. This is their lait creme concentrate. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's their original, more heavy duty moisturizer. This stuff is concentrated. You just use a little bit. Let me see if I could get just a tiny bit out. I don't want to waste it on myself. In fact, I need to make an order and order more. But it's just a very thick, but it breaks down. It's rich, but again, it breaks down. It's not super heavy. It does not cause the makeup to break up or to feel heavy as long as you don't go overboard. It was created to work under makeup. It's a really good one. You put it on and then it almost has like a powdery feel to it. Kind of almost like a rubbery type feel. Again, not greasy, not heavy, just an all-around really good one. I'd like to try their, they have one that's a matte formula and one that's like a light formula. I think I'm gonna try those this next year. Okay, and then this one right here is the Smashbox Photo Finish primer slash moisturizer in one. This had a moment a couple of years ago. It kind of exploded when it first came out and so many people were raving about it, and then I feel like nobody talked about it anymore because, you know, new products, they hit the market. This one, however, I have repurchased maybe 3 or 4 bottles of these. It is so good. Okay, so this is what I do with it. If I have a client that has more normal to oily skin, I will only use this as a moisturizer and nothing else on their skin. I will apply, you know, 3, maybe 4 pumps of this and just massage it all over their face, and then they're good to go because it moisturizes, but it's like water almost. I mean, here, let me put some of it out right here. I don't know, this might be a bad idea. See, it's just like a serum, like a water serum consistency that blends right into the skin. It feels like a drink of water for your dehydrated, parched skin. It's so good. So my normal to oily clients just get a few pumps of this and then we call it good. My dry, dehydrated clients, what I actually do is I will put a couple pumps, maybe like 2-3 pumps of this all over their face as like a serum, like a first step, because it's so lightweight. And then I'll go in with a small amount, again, just like a pea-size amount of this on top of it as like their surface layer moisturizer, if that makes sense. As a disclaimer, I don't have one product for every single category. It's not because I didn't like anything in that category. It just meant that I use so many different products and I might find, you know, amazing products, but I'm changing them out for a lot of things. And I just really wanted to narrow this down to products that I know if something happened to my kit, I don't even want to say that out loud, but if something did happen to my kit, I would repurchase these products first without a doubt. I wouldn't necessarily dabble into other products in these categories, you know what I mean? Concealer, Tarte Shape Tape. Now, whoa, I am not using this on the face, rarely, unless I mix it or unless I get the rare client that has oily skin and they can take this, especially under the eyes. Sometimes I will use it scraped out on a palette for a little bit of spot concealing around the face because it is very full coverage and is budge proof. But the reason why I absolutely love this and I use it on every single client is because I prep the eyelid with it. It truly is like super matte, super heavy duty, budge proof. It's not gonna go anywhere. I just take it, put it on my palette like the teeniest little dot, and then I'll dip in with like one of my little tiny concealer buffing brushes and use the smallest layer possible on the eye right there, just enough to give us that wash of concealer. It's not gonna move. Okay, foundation. How could I not talk about Face Atelier right here? I have repurchased the entire collection. I think I'm going on my 3rd order with them. So like once a year-ish, usually, I do like a massive order with them. Such good foundations right here. This is their Face Atelier Ultra Foundation Pro. So it's their standard foundation. If you get the Pro one, it's a little bit smaller. It's a little bit less than 1 ounce, but it comes in, sorry, these get a little bit dirty. It comes in a plastic bottle and a pump with the lid. Really travel friendly, very convenient, very compact. If you are a professional makeup artist, this company does offer a little bit of a discount. You do have to apply for it, but it's not difficult. But they offer, you know, like a complete white, complete yellow. This isn't even all of them. I have more in my kit right here, but absolutely love. Okay, now that I've told you how much I love it, let me tell you why it's so good, because I will be here all day raving about it. So the reason why I really like that foundation is because it is so incredibly forgiving on the skin. Whoa, I can't even, it's a silicone-based foundation, but it does not slip or slide or break up. I was a little bit worried, silicone is gonna slip, slide, break up. No, it doesn't do that. You put it on the skin, it's very emollient. It gives you time to blend, to work it in. It's hydrating on the skin. However, again, it's not heavy, it's not oily, greasy, and it doesn't break up. It's so beautiful on the skin, completely flattering. The shades are really good, and it still lasts really well. If I could only have one foundation in my kit, it would be this one. I would make it work. That's how much I love it. So, okay, contour slash bronzer. I have a lot that I've really enjoyed this year. However, the one that blew me away the most, the one that I was most excited to reach for and use is in here. It's in my little contour palette that I'm working on. I'm gonna put little blushes. Put some blushes in here too. But it is the Danessa Myricks Cream Contour Balm. Danessa Myricks The Balm Contour, I think it's called. It is so good. You know what? The reason why I really like that one is for a lot of reasons why I really like the Face Atelier, because it's very emollient and very forgiving and very flattering on the skin. My favorite way actually to apply this and why I love it so much is because I will take, sorry, this is a little bit dirty. I will, scrape this out onto my palette. I will dip a fluffy brush in it, and then I will buff it onto the skin as if it was a powder, and it just blends out. I wouldn't even say blends out, it melts into the foundation and kind of becomes one with the foundation rather than sitting on top of the skin. It's just so easy to work with. I use this and I feel like I'm getting the ease of powder, but it's undetectable on the skin. Okay, blush is actually a powder one. I kind of debated on this one. It's this one in particular up here, Milani Luminoso. Out of its packaging and into my palette. I put a little magnet on the back of it, like glued one on so it goes in here. So I can't even tell you, like every makeup artist has this in their kit, I feel like. I mean, beautiful peachy coral shade. I've used this on tan skin tones. I've used this on very fair skin tones. I've used it by itself. I've built it up. I've sheared it out. I use it sometimes as a blush topper. It is a little bit glowy, not glittery. I don't notice that. Not necessarily shimmery unless you're like sitting under like direct bright sun, and the sun will pick up some of that shimmer. But I would say 90% of the time, it just gives like a really soft little glow from within on the skin. Just beautiful formula. I will say though, with that one, that I did buy one or two, I think I bought 2 of the Milani baked blushes in other shades, and I didn't like them as much. Like they just weren't as good. The Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. Okay, if you are a makeup artist, you have heard this product like 40,000 times. The reason why I wanted to give a spotlight to the ambient lighting powders is because they are just so versatile. I use these on just about every single client. They just came out with their volume 3, I believe it is, and that one is for deeper skin tones, and I'm 100% picking that up. So not only does this give a very beautiful lit within, subtle but can be built up highlight, but you don't want to look like a disco ball, you don't want to look metallic, you don't want to look glittery. but you still want, you know, radiance, health, glow. This is the product for you. But not only do I love it for the glow, for the radiance it gives, but it almost erases. I will actually go in with this more bronzy shade and I will go over the lines of where the bronzer could be, any potential lines, just anywhere, the edge of my bronzer, and it'll diffuse and erase that. It'll just further blend it into the skin so you get a very, very seamless blend. It smooths and softens the face. I can use these shades to dust off if I get any sort of fallout instead of going into like a setting powder, and it'll kick off and clean up the fallout without adding any heavy drying powders on top of the skin. It's a really good one. Speaking of highlight, I have one that's like completely on the other end of the spectrum. Right here, up here, this is the Benefit Cookie. Okay, can we just take a minute? Let's see. Right here, do you see there's like a crater? I use this on pretty much every single client. I don't normally use it all over the face unless somebody does request that they really enjoy an extra pop of glow, then I'll just like, boop, boop, like just tiny little areas. I'll put this on top of the Hourglass to intensify that glow. But for the most part, I actually don't just take this and dust it all over the face. You can, some people love that look, but for me, my clients usually opt for, you know, a little bit more natural, soft looks. So I use this one though as eyeshadow constantly, or an eyeshadow topper to intensify the center of the lid or the, you know, the inner quarter of the lid. I use this on almost every single person to highlight right here. So good. It's really good with a detail brush just right on the top of the Cupid's bow, or a very small amount right down the center of the nose right there. Again, to just catch that extra light. Lashes. The ones that I have repurchased, hands down, the most. These are the Ardell 421. There we go. Can you see how there's a little bit of fluff to those? It's not just one layer, but having these, so many people don't even know that my brides or my clients are wearing lashes. These just make it look like your lashes go up all the way up here. Like, they're natural because they're very wispy, they're very light, they're comfortable, the band is really thin, but they still add that pop. In my honorable mention for lashes, we have the 421s, and on the bottoms we have the 420s. So if you can see, they're very, very similar, almost identical. They both have that little bit of a 3D fluffy effect. However, the 420s, as you can see, they're short. These are the unsung hero of the lash world, okay? The purpose of these are not to necessarily add length most of the time. These are oftentimes the same length as my clients' natural lashes. It literally looks like you have a billion natural lashes. It just gives you that fullness. It's absolutely beautiful. I have my husband coming out here to spy on me through the window. The Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks, these are so good, and they're lip glosses. If you're just looking for a formula that has pigment payoff, but still foolproof, Dose of Color lip glosses, you just can't go wrong. They have so many really, really good ones. They're liquid matte liquid lipsticks. The formulation, I mean, it's just really good. The colors are spot on. They last a really long time. I always top a little bit of gloss on my liquid lipsticks, just so my clients throughout the day don't feel like the life is being sucked out of their lips with the more long wearing products. Even though these ones are way better than a lot of other formulations. I don't even know, how many bottles have I bought of this? I've been using it for like 3 years at this point. The Scandinavia Bridal Makeup Setting Spray. It is so good. It's so good. I will say it is very, very, very comparable to the Urban Decay All Nighter. Scandinavia and Urban Decay are the same company. I wouldn't recommend these long wear makeup sprays every day because they do contain like your isododecane and your alcohol in them most of the time, which can be harsh on the skin over time. So I would say these are really, really good to have for special occasions, for those days when you know you've got photos, you've got an event, you're going out, whatever it is, and you just want to make sure that your makeup not only meshes into the skin, beautiful, beautiful skin-like finish, gives you a bit of a glow, but it's going to last. It will keep the makeup in place and help boost that longevity. As always, remember that makeup should be fun and optional. It should never be an obligation. Don't feel like you absolutely have to do the stuff I talk about or you have to buy the products I talk about, because it should just be fun. If it feels like a pressure or a burden, you don't need it. You're perfect just the way you are. With that being said, I will talk to you next week. Bye.